You can play it against the Doom lane. It's not a big deal. I mean, I think Troll is like one of the best picks left, honestly, here for Unique.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously Cyberium played it in game 1, but
still, I mean, you've got Magnus with it too. That's like already a good setup. And
Troll's looking real good.
Now, who else does Magnus enable though? Like PA is the other big one that comes to mind.
PA's banned, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. It's like they pick AM because PA, Morph, Slardar, Void, Lifestealer, Spectre, they're all banned. Like it's just nothing but safe laner bans, really. So the only reason I mentioned Troll is because he's kind of one of the only ones left, and he's naturally like AM can never blink in on a Troll Warlord unless it's his team outnumbering the Troll's team, right? Because otherwise you run the risk of getting rooted. You can get hit by you have to get Manta, and then you get blinded immediately after by the Whirling Axes, and it just feels gross. So curious to see what Cyberium are going to do. They're probably thinking something similar. Slark is also a possibility here for Unique. The one downside is that there is a Doom, and that matchup feels pretty bad to play, but I think I would actually give Unique quite a large advantage here in terms of the pick, because they're going to get to see more info, right? Like based on what they want their core hero to be. They can even choose to wait until last phase if they want, because they already do have Mag, and that hero we've seen Unique play mid already. So they have a lot of flexibility in their heroes, and like their one pick can kind of break the game for Unique. So I'm kind of scratching my head about the AM right now. We'll see if they can make it work in this early stage.
One more team fight
okay,
here.
Yeah, they're just gonna instant Troll.
Earth Spirit and right into Troll. So it looks like you read this one like a book.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like if I see it, they definitely see it.
Yeah.
There's nothing like crazy about. You just played against the hero, right? So it's fresh in your mind. You know that there's nothing really on Cyberium that hard counter you. You already have Oracle, which again was the pairing that we saw in game 1. And you know that it's good. So that's just, it's not really that complicated, right? Like it's just 1 + 1 doesn't have to equal 5. You can just pick the easy hero.
Yeah. Well, final bans now. Timbersaw taken out by Unique. I like that a lot. Don't see Timber too much.
Oh, Beastmaster ban. Interesting.
I
mean, I guess they already have their 3.
Yeah.
They're just assuming it's Magmid, which is a fair assumption, I would say, at this stage. Invoker ban's really good from Unique. I like that a lot. Like, this is another type of those lineups where you and I often talk about how much reach does your team have, and Unique's team basically has 0 reach. That is their weakness as a team, is they do not have anyone really who can go on the back line. They're more of the, we would prefer you to run into us type of team, because then you can have your front line, your Oracle can cast spells on whoever's eating abilities, and everything feels great. Cyberium, on the other hand, their advantage comes from their reach. And Unique are going to go ahead and last pick up the Ember. So a tempo hero, I guess it does mean they're going to be moving the Mag away from the mid lane. Looks like it'll be off lane in this situation, and then Ember mid, Troll safe. I think that's fine, honestly, for Unique in terms of lanes, but it does mean that Cyberium are going to get to cherry pick their mid matchup. So what do they want? Do they just want more reach?
Too bad
I honestly feel like
that's like the hard Ember counter that we've seen. Like if they think
I still think you can do something like anything with more reach is good here. There's like Puck, there's Void Spirit, you can do Queen.
What about Necro?
Necro is pretty bad against Oracle. I would probably
he's really good against Ember.
Yeah, he would crush the lane for sure. Like it's not out of the realm of possibility. I just normally when I see like Oracle Rubik or whatever, it's pretty rough if I'm thinking about Necro, and the hero is also very immobile. So in the mid game, like Ember is going to play well into you because he plays fast, and your hero is just naturally very slow. So you need to be playing from ahead for Necro to be good, and it's a dazzle. Okay.
All right, so
that is.
I've actually seen this a couple of times.
It works. It definitely works.
All the games I've cast, it's looked abysmal. It is like a counter pick to. I get it on paper, right? It's really good against melee matchups. I think it should win more than it has. Maybe Trent and I have just been unlucky, but we cast at least 2 core dazzle mid games in recent memory, and it felt like position 1 Venge, where you win the lane, and then you have to play this really fragile game, and if you make any mistakes at all, the punishment is so severe. If you die twice out of position, you're basically an overfarm support, and it feels hard to close out games. That's been my anecdotal viewing experience over the last couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a minute since I've seen it, so I'm not sure how the mid game is going to go for the hero, because I feel the same concerns that you do. He is very susceptible to just kind of dying, and being forced to grave yourself and whatnot doesn't always feel the best.
And you
even
don't
as
get
a core.
grave for so late with that build that there are moments where you can kill this Dazzle. Like, he's really not that survivable until level 9 or 10 or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. It does offer the team just a boatload of sustain and the ability to just kind of keep tempo. Because right now, they're pretty low cooldown, right? Their longest cooldown is Doom. So they can play the map as fast as they want, more or less, with these heroes. And I will say that if the AM gets ahead, it is quite hard to deal with him. But it really does depend on, like, Lil having a good lane, you know, getting his timings when they should be out. Like, none of this, you know, 26, 27-minute Battle Fury Manta stuff. That ain't going to work. It needs to be, like, fast.
Yeah.
So, like, 20, 22-minute-ish is when you really want it as an AM. And if you're having a super good game, you can get it pre-20, but that's probably not going to happen. So
I will say the Dazzle versus Ember, like, pure 1v1 matchup is pretty good for Dazzle. He doesn't have ways to get rid of the Flame Guard, so Ember still has some options, but generally all that physical damage against Ember's
you just die, though, right?
Is pretty bad. Yeah, you just get
just get owned.
So even though it does cut both ways, like, it allows Ember to farm jungle and stuff like usual, so he does have some way to get something. But yeah, Dazzle will rough him up for sure. But as we talked about, like, Dazzle's susceptible to ganks. It just takes 1 or 2 rotations for Ember to get an edge, and then once he gets level 6, it is nearly impossible for Dazzle to solo him.
Yeah, I mean, this game is really... I can't go with Cyberium's draft. I just can't. Like, you're playing against Mag Troll, and they have good high ground defense, pretty decent wave clear on Unique, and their lanes aren't, like, so bad to where I would say they're going to lose them too hard to play, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if they had 1 or 2 lanes that Cyberium were just going to crush, like, right now, I think they're probably going to do really well mid. And then, you know, bottom is going to be whatever it is. BZ's going to farm. Lil's going to farm. And then top, I mean, I have to assume that Unique are going to win that lane too, unless there's some, like, really baller rolls coming in.
Yeah.
From Bika, I think you said his name was?
B1KA. So however you would want to pronounce that. Bika,
Bika, something like that.
Something in there.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm always going to favor the team that I feel is easier to play. And I think that Unique's draft is quite simple to execute.
We'll see if they can do it here in game number 2. Bounty runes come out, and surprise, surprise, looks like they'll go even. See what this anti-mage can do. No persona here, lil pleb. I'm disappointed.
Man, the persona is such a high-quality model, by the way. If, like, people haven't played with it, it is really well made. Yeah, I use it exclusively now, and I have, like, all of the AM cosmetics. I have Golden Bashers, I have all of it, because I'm a disgusting AM player.
Do you think
I just love the persona.
going to open it up so that you can use weapons with the persona? That seems to be the one compromise people are asking for.
Yeah, I would like that, because I have, like, the Arca Manta and stuff, too, and I think it would look nice.
Like, it goes against what the personas are supposed to be like. Like, with the Kid Invoker, I get why they don't let you put in other cosmetics, because it's a full package. But in this case, it just feels so different. I don't know. AM's weapons are so iconic. I don't know.
Right. No, I think maybe in time they would give us something like that, because they do have to redo a lot of the animations and stuff.
That's fair.
So I think maybe, I don't know. I don't think they said anything about it, but I would definitely be up for it.
Count me in.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Like, you got to look as cool as possible when you have to basically never attend a team fight, right?
Hell yeah.
That way, when your whole team dies and they look at you, you're looking fresh.
Oh, yeah. I remember when those Golden Bashers came out. They were pretty pricey, but pretty cool. Up top, Van score on the run. I think he'll be okay. Note, they did not do the Lich Doom. It is, in fact, a 4 Earth Spirit. So, double melee off lane here for Cyberium.
It's probably better, because when you have an AM, you want the stronger support in his lane.
Yeah.
Just because he can, like, what he's doing to Mag, like, there's no way that an Earth Spirit would be able to do this. They're actually going to kill BZZ.
Dude, that is the... All right, the dream is AM gets the first blood, but finding a kill on the enemy offlaner. Great start for this Cyberium safe lane.
Yeah, this is actually really nice for them. If he can get to ring on AM relatively early, that's always a nice feeling. Illusion gonna take some autos here. He'll be fine though.
This is the weird balance of AM where he's not a great laner, but the mana burn still gives you options in lane. Like, nobody can really trade with him like this. Look at how much pressure he's putting on.
Yeah, I mean, he did have the creep wave advantage there, so they're obviously going to back up because that trade just wouldn't ever favor them. But yeah, he's the type of hero that's strange because once the heroes are out of mana, he becomes way weaker, right? They're going to get a courier snipe here top.
That's true. He doesn't do any damage at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole, like, weird part about anti-mage. In some matchups, if the hero is completely mana dependent, he can win. But a lot of the time, like these beefy offlaners that have a low mana pool but high base damage, once they're it's like they're just gonna beat your ass. You don't win that anymore as AM.
Yeah. Mid lane exchanging some damage, and up top, Bika takes a Fortune's End. Rolling Boulder.
A bot again.
A lot of action here.
1 second on the blast. No, not quite. Okay.
Rubik low, but salves up. So how's our mid looking? 18-8 on Dazzle, 10-0 on the Ember Spirit. Yeah, this is exactly what you'd expect.
He is owning. I'm curious to see what build he's going to go for. I mean, the Necro book's probably dead, right? Because it doesn't kill creeps anymore.
We've seen Helm of the Dominator. Every time I've seen it on this patch. Yeah, Necro has been just passed up for HOD. Then after that, it's usually like Greaves' second item, I think, has been pretty popular. No Midas, of course. That Dazzle build is pretty dead. Although with Midas getting buffed, I don't know if it's that terrible. I think there could be a...
If he didn't have an AM, I would say maybe.
Yeah. It's not an every game item, but there's maybe some merit there. Sam up top. Repelled. Salves. He is alive.
Yeah, killing a Doom at this lane is a tall order. Very, very tanky hero.
And back down bottom. Illusion now in some trouble. It's Lil Pleb with a Frost Shield.
This is quite a strong lane, actually. Mainly because BZZ can't protect his Rubik, right? Like, if he doesn't have mana, he can't, like, Shockwave or anything. He doesn't have Skewer skilled, which is pretty much the only way he'd be able to save him. So once you get double slowed, and you're just getting hit by the mana break and stuff, it's pretty scary.
Yeah. Top now, Sam low, but coming back in, Scorched Earth. Trying to set up on the Van score, and that's an empty inventory. He used his last item in that Fairy Fire.
God, that is really rough to look at. Okay, now he's got some stuff.
Yeah, he's bought some more consumables, don't worry.
Yeah, they're gonna go even, I think, on the bounties here. Yeah, 2 for 2.
And of course,
this lane bottom though is going, like, BZD's getting farm, but the AM's not really being held down that much, and now he's got to his ring and a Wraith Band, so now harassing him is a lot more difficult.
Yeah, as you said, BZZ not able to really bully the AM so hard, but they also struggle to kill him. Now Lil Pleb is going to be pushed back. Magnus with some stick charges. Puber backing up. Now mid lane, we'll see some action. Lornoff, pretty low, only level 5. All those Dazzle denies making a big difference. No poison on him, so they will have to finish him off. And it's actually Bika that goes down.
Yeah, that was close. Almost getting the... he is going book. Okay, Mastermind. You're
cool. All right.
He's a wild lad.
I mean, this was all the rage on Dazzle. It's been nerfed a little bit, but any reason for this over HOD that you can think of? We'll see Dazzle in the mid lane take some damage. Bika's back, though, and that'll push back the Ember. Fan score, body blocks. Very nice. This will set up another kill. The disarm. I think they've still got him, I think. Yes, they do, but maybe baited in too far. Stick charges, poison. BZZ's made the rotation to try and finish off Bika as Mastermind looking for an option under the tower, rolling Boulder away. I think that'll be the end of it. BZZ not able to find a counter kill.
So as far as the book goes, the nerf on Dazzle is probably less extreme than other heroes because you actually use Shadow Wave to farm with the book anyway. So you're just giving yourself more heal targets. So I guess theoretically it doesn't slow your farm rate as much as it might for other heroes. And in addition, you like the book got changed in a way where it does more damage to heroes, and his illusion is going to get slain here again in the bot lane.
Yep. I guess like the lack of aura means he does farm ever so slightly slower. I can't move as fast from camp to camp. A little less mana regen, but
I mean, it is just objectively slower, but what I'm saying is it doesn't hurt him as bad for farm speed as other heroes because of the utility that Shadow Wave has.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I see. No, that's
so
a good point.
It's also much more damage against heroes. So when you poison touch someone, those books are just going to shred them, right? Because it's minus armor and they're slowed, and they deal additional damage to heroes that they didn't previously have.
Oh, right. So yeah, it's shittier for farming, but now better against heroes. Yeah, plus
yeah, and 10% worse against towers.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's still fine. Like, I'm curious to see how it's going to work in the mid-late game, because this build does fall off a cliff. I just want to be clear. Like, once the troll and the mag have a sufficient amount of farm, those necro units are just going to explode every fight.
I mean, a lot of the times, at least in the past, we would see Dazzles just hold the level 1 book, use it as a farming tool, and never even upgrade it to level 3. It's actually just a minus replacement.
He might do that. Even gets a regen. Really nice for Mastermind. He's going to have a really nice early game.
Yeah. But this troll, 1957, 14 CS right now. He is farming very well. Top of the charts, way ahead of the AM, even ahead of the Dazzle. So the clock is ticking already. Unique just have to get over this early game hump.
Yeah, any even game at this point, I would still favor Unique.
All right, down bottom. Lil Pleb going to jump in onto Illusion. The roll comes forward. Stun on 2, but it won't be enough to save the likes of Illusion. Ruby Tuesday going to be put down in the tree line.
They who live by the wand shall die by my blade.
Yeah, okay, he is going back for just the Greaves, so it's just going to be book 1.
Classic stuff here. I mean, Greaves on Dazzle. I hype it up a lot, but it is so good.
Yeah,
the reduced cooldown is just disgusting.
That's the thing, because I really love this hero. Like, even back in Han, he was like my main hero. I played Demented Shaman, right? And Demented Shaman is nowhere near as good as Dazzle is.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes you think, right? Like, we thought there were OP heroes in Han, but Dota heroes are just objectively better of a lot of their Han counterparts now.
Yes. Especially now, like, it feels like a lot of heroes have been buffed up. You know, the classic Ice Frog. The counterplay is how we balance heroes, not nerfing them. See Puber.
Not again.
Yeah, he's going to get pulled back in. Mana Boy, though, into BZZ. A bold, sinister gaze, knows his limits, and does set up the kill. Now Vanscore probably going to be in some trouble. Bless his soul.
You can't channel a Fortune's End on an anti-mage, my dude. Come on.
Yeah. Lornoff coming in, looking for the counterplay. This is a full rotation now at a Unique. 19 has also come to join the party. They do bring down Pika.
I mean, this is just a race to who gets to, like, their second item faster. Like, if Lil can get, you know, Battle Fury Manta going quickly enough, it should be... I think it should be enough to put them in the driver's seat for the game. But, man, there's always just that looming sense of Troll Mag. I just... Like, who do you doom if you're Sam in this game? Like, do you just doom the Troll every fight? Because without him, they just don't have the damage? I mean, I guess that's probably the play.
Yeah, I guess Ember also comes to mind. It just deletes him out of fights.
Well, the way I think of it is, who do I doom that enables my one position the best? And I think Troll is the scariest hero. Speaking of bottom, he's dead.
Whoa. Missed that one. Sorry about that, folks. All right. Looks like a Magnetized Chain Frost combo. Well, gosh darn.
Yeah, that was a definite overextension there from Unique. They don't even have any vision bottom. There's 3 observers, by the way, bottom for Cyberium, and none for Unique. So you want to talk about vision superiority? Yeah, they got it bottom, for sure.
Dresswell, can I just describe to you the high that you can attain by putting 1 sentry down to kill 2 observers? Do you know how rare those opportunities come about? Look at this.
Oh, dude, it's sick. You get so much EXP and gold from that.
It's insane. Oh, Mastermind does not have Shallow Grave. Level 10 Dazzle. This is that window. There's the RP. And the Dazzler drops a big heal bomb. still not going to live. Now the false promise comes out on Troll. Anti-Mage here, ready to party. Almost gets 2 in the back, but now Puber falls. AM gets BZZ. Now comes the counter shield, or spell shield. Counter spell, that's it. Rooted up, and AM's dead. A bloody disaster for Cyberium. Even a buyback from the Lich. And Puber, it's like he'll be okay. He'll make it back from this one. Bika kind enough to suicide his courier there to distract the Ember.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff going on here. Like, this Doom's TP was on cooldown. So they knew that he couldn't be bottom. And the Dazzle still gets caught, like, pretty far out of position. And you'd think with 3 Observer Wars, they'd be able to see the lane at least. But their obs right now really only cover the river and, like, the little bit of high ground between the 2 neutral camps. So it's not like... You can't actually see TPs with Cyberium's current vision. And they just waltzed down the lane. Just killed mid player. Pretty easy move to make.
Yeah. Well, but they still maintain a net worth lead, but puts a little dent into it. Definitely gives Unique some breathing room and more space for the Troll, who is still accelerating. No Battle Fury, though. He went for the drums, going SNY next. 19 is gearing up to fight early, if he has to.
Yeah, it's good. I don't think, you know, maybe in some niche situations you can go for Battle Fury anyway. He's got ult back up, not going to chase.
Yeah, you just don't need it with the mag.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing, too, is, like, the stats are even more effective. You know, like SNY and Satanic is a common build on Troll anyway because status resist is broken in games where there's crowd control, but the damage isn't high. But then, on top of that, Empower also buffs your base damage, which obviously SNY gives you because of the Agi and whatnot. So it's kind of like any hero that buys stat items just naturally really benefits from having mag.
Illusion up top, the old classic. Spell Steal on the blink. Run away from the Anti-Mage. Well done there. Now back towards the
mid again.
It's going to be Mastermind. He does have Shallow Grave. Gets it off. But now what?
Yeah, that's a good question. This is really weird because it seems like Cyberium are just reacting like so late. Like their cores are off on their own. Like Samstan was top, remember, with the no TP and bottom lane when they were diving and killed Mastermind. No one was behind him. He just dies again. His team is farming the woods next to him, but no one's in range to use a spell? Like, come on. What's going on here? Like, there's got to be some sort of communication. Like, yo, I'm standing up here. Can I please have, like, an Earth Spirit or, you know, someone behind me so that I don't just fall prey to getting ran down? Like, I mean, this is, what, 2 times in a row?
Or something, though. They've got great ultimates. Cyberium drafted this really solid 4+1 lineup and they will smoke up
He's got Blink now.
Okay, maybe that's what they were waiting for.
Blink on the courier for the Doom, so they're going to have to wait a little bit. But it just seems very... There's a big disconnection right now in Cyberium and where their supports need to be.
All right, I like this, though. They're finally going to awake from the slumber. But no, Mastermind! He's going to walk in a bit too early. Cyberium are there to back him up, and it looks like he will survive. Stone comes through, and now 19 does get the false promise. The Oracle salves him up. That's a nice little touch there as well.
You gotta leave if you're Cyberium, right? Like, you can't stay here.
Yeah, Puber is going to head out the other way. They did doom the Ember Spirit, but obviously doesn't yield to much. I like where the Lich's head is at. Abort. Maybe I can get a bounty rune. It doesn't work out, but...
It was a nice play nonetheless. Draw the heroes away from you, or away from your team, so they don't get a core kill or anything like that.
But we're seeing the problem here. Troll not even close to his final form, and they're already struggling to handle the damage and the save of the Oracle.
Yeah, nothing is going to threaten this guy for a while. There needs to be like a Manta Abyssal or something on the AM so he can start, you know, killing the backline, killing the Oracle, killing the Rubik. That's when the fights are going to start looking a lot better for Cyberium because currently, you know, Illusion and Vanscore are able to sit there and cast whatever spells they want. Because no one can reach the back of the fight except for the Doom, and the Doom's never going to Doom a support this game. He can't. He has to either Doom the Troll or the Ember.
Smoke up now. Unique. Looking for a catch around the mid lane. Magnus, no blink, but has an RP ready. Puber TPing in. Smart grip man in the front line.
Oh, he had Doom.
Oh, stolen Doom on the Rubik. Oh my gosh. Mastermind in big trouble. Great RP on 2. And an easy set of kills. It's actually an RP on 3. I didn't even see Sam in there. But now the Chain Frost will bounce in the back line. A quick 3 for nil. A good Delta split. Illusion gets it into the neutrals. Cyberium.
This is looking real bad.
In
this is
big
looking
trouble.
super duper bad.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I missed that stolen Doom, but still.
I did too. Don't worry. I definitely did not see you got Doom.
I mean, all that is to say, I guess Cyberium didn't really seem to be too aware of it either, but that's a 3K swing before, or Jesus, 2K swing before the tower.
Yeah, this is uh-oh time. The thing about Anti-Mage this game is he's never really going to feel safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even if you get Manta, you can still get RP'd. You can still get, you know, rooted by the troll or whatever, or bashed later on once he gets that Abyssal Blade. Your item progression never really counters anything that the troll does in the game. What you do is you play like sort of how a Spectre would, where you go in and you kill the supports because you're really good at isolating them and killing them quickly. That's what AM excels at during the mid game. But if you can't ever like threaten one of the cores on Unique, that's a problem. Like there needs, the last time they casted Doom, they just got to reset the fight. You know, that can't happen either. There needs to be follow up, and right now they just don't have it.
They are starting to accelerate. I agree. I don't know what the AM does to feel good. I guess he can try to play this like rat Dota style. Like my brain keeps going back to this 4+1, and catches like this are steps in the right direction. They'll find an Oracle. All right, a little misfire there from Old Earth Spirit, but that's okay. They still get the kill, and the hunt might continue. BZZ hiding in the tree line. Okay, looks like they won't find him. Instead, they'll just focus efforts on this tier 1. No defense for Unique.
You know, I don't like really calling games early because I think this patch is really good for making good moves on the map. You know, you can punish a team really hard even if they're ahead with like 1 or 2 good smokes, and I think that makes for an entertaining meta. But in these types of situations, man, like it's the hero compositions that are making me favor Unique more than just like the overall play. And no one has touched like 19 the whole game minus like the 1 death that he had bottom. And if he can just get to Satanic, oh man, I don't know how they're gonna kill him.
Yeah, the heavy status resistance troll and another reset, right? They've already got his ult plus the Oracle saves, and the Satanic is just 1 more on top of that. This poor Lich up top, that will end up being the freest of kills. Gonna happen from time to time. Cyberium. I do feel like Cyberium have taken this game a little too slowly, though. Like that, I don't really get why they haven't been able to fight around Doom at all. Like, it's 20 minutes. We haven't seen a good Doom fight yet.
Yeah, they don't really have a lot of lockdown. They're going to lose BK here.
I think so, and maybe more. He's going to roll out to the side. Illusion's there. RP on 2. From bad to worse. Doom going to die again. Not that his ulti would have done anything there, but it just hurt. Like, this is a hero that you want to see do stuff early, try to get some early momentum. And, yeah, Cyberium getting shut down very hard.
So as far as, like, the tempo that Cyberium are playing, actually I might have hold that thought. We'll dive here.
They're going to come on in. Lich does throw a Chain Frost. It's taken some good bounces. 19 gets another good kill, and they'll all be able to sustain through it.
Yeah, so the tempo that Cyberium can play on paper is pretty fast, but if you think about the movements that happen on the map, Unique were always the aggressors. They were walking bottom, they were fighting Mastermind, he was getting picked off like multiple times. The fights were starting with basically a core being dead. They are going for the Ember here. Not sure if they have the damage. Nope. They do not.
Doom.
A little bit early on the roll there.
Like that is that right there is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. It's like, guys, come on, we need to be on the same page here. You have the tools, damn it. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. There's some miscommunication going on in Cyberium. There's a lot of points in this game where heroes are just like Sam right now. Like, yeah, he's just dead. Didn't get to use the ulti again. Earth Spirit's gonna jump in, gets off the ultimate, and he's doing what he can in this fight. Takes a shallow grave. If they can get Van score, that'd be a nice start to this fight. They make it a 1-for-1. But now what's the play? Anti-Mage jumps back in. They want this Ember, but again, not enough lockdown. They need the Doom to find that kill. Yeah, this is one of those situations where,
Like the AM is still on farm, like not on farm, but like on track for his farm. So if he can get to the Abyssal, there is still a chance for Cyberium, because the Abyssal is like the great equalizer. It's when AM becomes an actual hero. Battle Fury Manta can allow you to kill in certain situations, but the Abyssal is when you become a threat on the map, and not just a hero that's annoying, that's hard to kill, right? So now there is a window for Cyberium to be able to make a play. The Dazzle and the AM are still really high up on the net worth, so it's not as if Mastermind has kind of fed away all of his net worth. It's just more or less, the longer the game goes past Abyssal, the harder I believe it will be for Cyberium to win, barring like some very well executed fights. So like the Doom needs to be on the right target. They need to get that hero out of the fight, you know, potentially not fight into Aegis on the Troll currently, because that would just be, it would be pretty much impossible. So look for like more wave cutting from Lil, look for them to try to draw Unique across the map so that they can force favored fights for themselves, as opposed to just, you know, going 5v5, because as far as we've seen, that just really doesn't work for them. But yeah, Lil's doing it now. He's just hopping the waves, trying to keep them off of his side of the map for as long as he can. And whenever you're playing AM, you want to do this. Yeah. If you know that you can't win a big fight, you need to be a presence on the map. You can't just sit in the woods all the time. You need to draw focus to yourself and draw the balance between like side lane push, but don't die.
Yeah,
you know?
It's a combination of you're maintaining creep equilibrium, but you're also playing the mental warfare, you know, making them back up. And if they don't catch you, this can be wasted time. But if they find you greedily farming their ancients, it's not going to go so well. TP out, not going to work from Bika, and this is going to be a 2-0 easy fight. Okay, maybe going to get a counter kill on the Rubik, or perhaps not. I don't think he has enough damage here, even with the Magnetize, especially not with the Oracle. Well,
I would even say that things like that, though, are just the support also not being in the right position. Like, think about where they were standing. The wave is at the tier 2. The creeps see the tower, right? Yeah. So you're going to see the TP. So why is the Earth Spirit standing on the opposite side of the one way where you're vulnerable from? If he's standing on the bottom left, like towards the ward, like the sentry,
yeah,
he will break the smoke, and then the AM will live, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of stuff I mean, is like they're not really in the best positions on the supports, and Mastermind might just be dead here.
I think he is. Yeah, no grave now. He's done. Yeah, you're exactly right. It's like they both die, so if the Earth Spirit's dead anyway, throw your body at the smoke, and it's an easy survival for AM. I think it's a fair criticism. It's that
I mean, it's about improvement, right? Yeah. Like you're looking at it from the perspective of, okay, in that situation, what could I do better?
Yeah.
It's just that the Earth Spirit already had vision of that area. He didn't need to be there to see it, because the AM already saw it even without his presence. Yeah. So now, if he stands on the other point, then he dies, but the AM guarantee lives.
Yeah.
And that's just a benefit for your team, right? Like that's as you're a support, that's your job.
Yeah. And it again, to me, goes back to this Cyberium. They sort of have the right formula in mind, just lacking on the exact execution there. AM was doing the right general thing, and he's right back at it. He cuts that wave mid, goes right back to farming jungle, continuing to be that mosquito. I guess maybe there's a larger fly that's more annoying, buzzing around the enemy side of the map.
Yeah, if he can keep the waves away from his base until he gets Abyssal, there's always a chance on a hill that an enemy team can overextend, make some misplay, and then, you know, you capitalize on that, and then you just go in and, you know, you take the fight. And that's the kind of stuff that you can turn the game on right now. I mean, high ground's always been a nightmare. Just as long as Dota's been around, it's always tricky to do it correctly.
Yep. Halberd getting close on Mastermind. It's a handy item on Dazzle. Shorter cooldown. High ground we go, though.
I mean, they do have the AM TP'd home. He needs to like try to get behind this push, because he won't be able to frontline. The troll will just like man fight him or kill him. He wants to go around, but he's finding it hard to get into the back because they don't have vision. They only have vision to the high ground. So this rack's just going to be given up for free.
I think so. The Doom just now TPing back.
Okay.
They do get the melee barracks, range standing. Now they jump in. Doom onto Ember. That'll force out a false promise. Lil Pleb gets the Oracle. This isn't too bad for Cyberium. The Chain Frost will stop bouncing, and now they found 19. But there's the ultimate. A lot of time to survive on this troll.
Good,
now
though.
Out of mana. They get BZZ. It's a good mana void. So far, so good. Lil Pleb doing a great job bouncing around this back line. Now the roll across. Actually not going to connect with much. Shallow Grave comes out. Anti-Mage in a lot of trouble. Can he get out? He can.
Oh.
That's about as close as it gets. 19 is still alive, though, and now Mastermind's dead. Didn't have the Grave in time. Was just cooling down. And despite that great fight, I just don't think Cyberium can do it.
He's just too big. The Satanic just... Even when they kill the Mag, and, like, they force the... Did they kill the Amber, too? No, he just got doomed and reset, right?
Yes, because he got False Promise.
Yeah.
So he...
Okay, so he lives or whatever. They kill 2 heroes, and they still can't take down the Troll, and he has, like, no one nearby. And now they get a Paladin Sword on top of that, so if he wants to swap for even more sustain, he can do that. If he wants to stick for the Imclaw, he can. Yeah, those type of situations are kind of why I was saying you can't fight straight on, because even though that fight started perfectly for Cyberium, they still didn't have enough in the tank to win. Yeah. Like, they were only able to get 1 or 2 kills, and then after that, the Troll just stands there and can hit anyone he wants. Like, no one's stopping him.
And we saw what you mentioned last game. If you don't stack the ults of Oracle and Troll, he lives for a stupid amount of time on 1 HP. Like, this hero should not be alive. They bought him 15 seconds. Chain Frost now, again, taking good bounces, but just not enough. Sam in the front line, still no Doom available. And whoa, the back line now. It's the Earth Spirit. He goes for it. He's going to tank a lot of damage from 19, and that sets up for Lil Pleb. He gets both supports in the back, and they actually get off the Grave. So far, this is looking okay. They do lose Pika. Now he's going to buy back. They need to find a way to kill this Troll, though.
Oh,
Battle Trance used.
God.
Sick RP from Magnus. That is going to be a potential game ender. Cyberium burning buybacks like crazy to get into this fight. But BZZ, the hero of the engagement.
My goodness, that was hard to watch. You can kind of see it happening in slow motion when you're playing against the Mag. You know, you lose track of where he is during the fight.
Yeah.
God, that was...
The Mag did 1,200 damage that fight, but
yeah,
he had the perfect RP.
He had the RP and he had the Troll empowered, so it's like, that's all you need. Didn't even matter if he attacked there. As soon as you hit that RP, the fight's over. And not really much that...
now the Abyssal is out on 19, so Troll has gone from scary to horrifying.
Yeah. I mean, they tried something on Cyberium. I would say that it was kind of an experimental thing, like doing the whole Dazzle mid, you know, AM second phase or whatever. And it showed like a little bit of promise, but man, I gotta say, their coordination in this game has just not been there. Like, outside of the base defense fights, which I will say they played very well, there were so many points in this game where I felt like a lot of people on Cyberium were not on the same page.
Yep.
And that just can't happen, you know? Especially when you... Oh, mid lane, yeah. Goodbye.
Sweet Dazzle. Sweet
You just
Dazzle.
can't get away. Between Basher and the Ensnare from the Berserker's Rage, you're just never going to be able to run from him.
Yep. And he'll be good. Okay. Yeah. And weirdly enough, this is what a lot of the core Dazzle games have looked like, where I look at it and say, this isn't the Dazzle's fault entirely, right? They had a game plan. The team fell short. There are a lot of issues here. But still, for some reason, this is what every core Dazzle game has come down to. It seems hard to execute with. Up top, Lil Pleb, he's in some trouble. Follow up. Ooh, he's got the counter spell. Huber trying to throw the body, and he will save his anti-mage.
See, that's what should happen when they gank, right? Like, they lose the support, but the core lives. How many times did it happen in the opposite way this game, where the core was just isolated and there was no support in sight? Like, it's happened like 5+ times for Cyberium.
Yeah. You're totally right.
I just think it's odd because, you know, Dazzle, it's not like it's unknown to say that the hero is very easy to kill. Like, you don't have an escape. You're a Dazzle. You just sit there and you cast your spells, and that's kind of what you do. So you would imagine that, you know, an Earth Spirit or a Lich or someone would be standing near this guy when he's just sitting at a tower by himself, like, trying to defend. And I don't know. I mean, maybe he shouldn't be there. Maybe there should be a support there. You could argue it either way. But it's just more the idea that Cyberium definitely did not have the draft advantage like they did in Game 1. and it's kind of showing because the execution of this type of lineup seems to be a little bit out of reach for them.
And maybe that's why game one was a little bit surprising. We'll see Roche fall here, but at least on paper, Unique should be the pretty heavily favored team in this matchup. And there are odds on EGB.com, and I think they did pretty heavily reflect that. Unique as favorites for the series to take it. So, setting up for a potentially interesting game 3.
Yeah, they're going to try to get the Abyssal on AM, I think, and go for one more, like, last hurrah type of thing, but...
It's not over yet, but without the buybacks, that's where this feels pretty rough.
I mean, they can't even kill this guy once, Zaire. You think they're going to kill him twice?
I've seen bigger throws happen, Draskell.
All right, we'll see.
And not a great start. Lich just going to be dead. I believe that is a dieback for old Puber. So, okay.
Those halberds last like 1 second, by the way.
Yeah, the status resistance build. What does he have? 50% status resistance? Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, he's got a 44 with just the 2 items.
They found AM in the back line this time. Doom does get graved. AM low, but does blink out. No RP.
Okay.
Oh, he did use it already. I'm sorry. Sam fell. And Dazzle now, I think they're a bit hyperextended, too far out of the base. I see how they got pulled out. AM trying to get to the back line, but yeah, there's no hope. There is no hope.
It's just
Dota Plus still gives them a
it's...
10% chance to win, Draskell. That is some generous shit.
Yeah, it is. That is a gift for Cyberium currently. It's just a draft win, honestly, for Unique. I feel like these teams are pretty evenly matched in terms of like how they play. Maybe Unique are a bit more coordinated, I suppose.
They have a
like
stand-in on Unique as well, so we can't forget that factor.
Yeah, very true. But it seems like from the games that I've watched, usually the team that has a better draft just kind of wins.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. Maybe they won't let Mag through in the third game because that seems to be like the hero that kind of tips it in one team's favor. You know, it's that oppression of, oh god, there's just going to be this unstoppable death machine on the enemy team at some point, and we're putting ourselves under a lot of pressure just by letting that hero through.
Yeah. So
at some point you have to say, is it a troll problem or is it a Mag problem?
Or is it an Oracle problem?
I mean, Oracle's great too, don't get me wrong, but AM very easily deals with Rubik and Oracle in this game.
That's true. Oh, good catch, though, potentially. Follow-up Doom. They are going to get the Magnus, it looks like. Also, the Ember Spirit quite low. Chain Frost taking some bounces. Now Van Score's dead. They'll still have to deal with 19, but it's a 1 for 3. Cyberium living up to that 10%.
Rubik the troll.
Getting bashed up. The buyback, though, from Lornoff. The buyback from the Oracle. And now they'll be overwhelmed. Sam, he's going to fall. AM, he's got the DR queued up, Draskell. He knows what it's going to take to win this game.
Yeah, there's no other choice. It's the only item he can buy.
And he does have the Abyssal. Also, the Orb of Destruction, I don't know. It's pretty big. Although the Paladin Sword also on the Troll. Similarly big.
Paladin Sword is just so insane. That item is probably too good. I don't know if it needs regen and lifesteal amp.
Yeah.
Like, even if it was just lifesteal and 20 damage, I guarantee you tons of cores would still use it.
Don't forget about the spell lifesteal as well, Draskell. Key part of the item.
Yeah, well, it's amp, right? It doesn't give you spell lifesteal on its own. It just amplifies.
Oh, yeah, it just amps all of it. Right, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's such a weird mechanic. It's like a tooltip that you have to read twice. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just silly with heroes like Troll, because you also get it from SNY as well. So in total, you have 44% extra lifesteal, in addition to the base lifesteal that you already have and the Satanic effect. Basically, you like full heal from hitting one time.
Now, on Sanjin Yasha, it actually says 30% self HP regen and lifesteal amp. So
right.
is that the exact same mechanic? I guess it might be missing.
It's the same. It's the same lifesteal amp mechanic.
Okay.
It's just instead of also giving you spell lifesteal, it gives you HP regen amplification instead of the spell thing.
I gotcha. Okay.
So they do stack. It's 44% lifesteal amp and 30% self HP regen.
There's a pretty dope Venn diagram there that's like, yeah, these items are nice. Okay, I'm with you.
They're very, very super OP together.
Uh-oh, mid lane again. RP on 3. BZZ Magnus. They don't have the follow-up kills, though. This could be a dieback onto the Ember Spirit. False Promise comes out. buys him some time. Earth Spirit also low, but jumps back in. That's the Troll Battle Trance, probably going to be the end of Sam Sam. Shallow Grave, maybe he can make it back. He actually drops the Doom on the Troll. Sam Sam lives. Turn, Infernal Blade, Telekinesis, Sam Sam's down. But on the backside, AM, he's also muted. Looks like a stolen Doom from the Rubik. Oh, my Lanta. No. Lil Pleb, you're done, buddy.
God, how does he get Doom more than once? That's actually crazy to me. Because Scorched Earth has no cast point, right? It's like normally when you play against Rubik, we're going to watch Poober just get mushed here. Yeah, there we go. One slide of this. You get the Doom off, and then you immediately Scorch, because that's how you protect your Doom against Rubik, because it's your slowest, or sorry, it's your fastest cast point. And that's, you know, same thing with Undying. You don't give away Tomb, blah, blah, blah. You just hit ulti. The fact that he gets Doom more than one time in a game, it just blows my mind.
Yeah, that's it. You know, it's like well played by the Rubik, but the Doom creates the situation for the Rubik to capitalize, right?
Yeah,
it's fundamentally the Doom is the root problem there.
You got to be fast, but you shouldn't even have the window.
Yeah, exactly. Buyback from the AM now. Oh, they're going to jump right in onto the Dazzle, the Abyssal Blade, Mastermind. He's done. Buyback there. In onto the Magnus now. Anti-Mage. Remember, he bought back. If he dies back here, this will be game. Vika outside of the base, looking for a rollback to survive. They block it. The Magnetize doing some work, and this Earth Spirit actually pretty tanky, still alive as he gets Grave. But 19 will pop Battle Trance and try to bring down this Doom again. Gets the invisibility. Glimmer Cape keeps him alive. Chain Frost bouncing in the back. AM trying to get the Rubik, but can't finish him off. Now bashed up, rooted. Grave, the Dazzle, doing a lot, but the AM is just too locked down. Blink back, stopped by the Abyssal. That's a dieback now on Lil Pleb, and this final hold looking grim. Puber down, Bika down, and GG gets called. 41-20, game 3 coming up in a jiff. Unique takes it.
Yeah, that was, like I was saying, it's kind of a draft win. Don't get me wrong, I think that Unique played better this game too.